Hey guys, this is Walnut, and this is the story of our KvK tree. A tale of preparation, of battles fought, and of outcomes that shaped our kingdom. What follows is not a flag, but a memory, a record of the fights we faced together and the legacy we carved in its wake.
Every war begins long before the first clash of armies. It begins in silence, in preparation. My march was set, cavalry heavy, built for endurance, with archers ready to strike when the moment called. Yet even as I prepared, doubts lingered. Minamoto with Arthur did not carry the sharpness I needed. The pairing felt mismatched, and I feared the reports would not favor me when the storm finally broke. Meanwhile, my archers carried a different weight. USH with Zhuge Liang moved with a promise of precision, their synergy undeniable. Even with half the investment in equipment and armaments, I sensed they could bend the tide. In this state of war, archers were poised to be overpowered, waiting only for the moment to prove it. Equipment was polished, commanders sharpened, every piece of gear chosen not for vanity, but for survival. And yet, survival alone was not enough. Preparation demanded foresight, demanded balance, demanded that every march align with the greater plan. The strategy was clear: hold the ruins, dominate the altars, and prepare for Kingsland. But clarity did not mean simplicity. Behind the scenes, our warrior, Ruz, was already sketching the lines of battle, anticipating every move, every counter, ensuring that no step was wasted. For us, efficiency is king. And above it all stood our king, Justin, the pillar of resolve. His leadership, a beacon that rallied every soldier, every commander. Alongside him, the prime team moved like clockwork, as always, their discipline sharpening the edge of our kingdom. Together with Ruz's meticulous planning, they forged not just an army, but a legacy. We weren't just preparing for a fight, we were preparing for a history.
Our banner flew proudly in Camp Solaris. Kingdoms 3779, 3793, 3789, and 3774. Our opponents stood strong in Camp Lunaria. Kingdoms 3793, 3772, 3771, and 3785. And then, the rivals, the so-called Imperium. Kingdom 93, our own Imperium, disciplined, relentless. Kingdom 72, the shadow in the bracket, whispered about, hype, and everything nice. Two Imperiums, destined to collide. One crown, one ziggurat, one Kingsland. As ancient ruins opens, it fell swiftly into our hands. The altar of the darkness was not even a contest. Our allies and us swept through Lunaria like a storm. Everywhere we looked, Solaris banners burned bright. Yet in the shadows, whispers of 72 lingered.
They are rats.
Some said, but rats survive. A rat Gnaw. Rat. Wait. And so, though we dominated, the tension remained. Victory was ours, but the true test had yet to begin. The gates finally opened. Kingsland, the heart of KvK. Every kingdom surged forward, brimming with confidence. Matchup set like destiny itself. 93 against 72, both Imperiums. 74 against 71, 79 against 83, and lastly, 89 against 85. The battlefield was alive, a symphony of chaos, banners clashing, commanders roaring, the ground trembling beneath hundreds and millions of troops. And as everyone surged into Kingsland, hours passed by. The first hour, 71 and 74, erupted in a war so massive it dwarfed even our clash with 72. On our side, 72 tried to break through the pass. They built flags, desperate to push forward. But every attempt was crushed. Their ally, 85, was already collapsing under the weight of 89, leaving 72 exposed, vulnerable, sandwiched. For 6 relentless hours, the battlefield was fire and fury. Ruz commanded with precision. Every flag they touched burned. Every rally they launched swarmed before it could even breathe. 72 fought, but they did not fight like an Imperium. I remember the whispers before KvK 3. 72 is the Imperium to watch.
Flashback.
There's 37-72, the golden child of the Imperiums, undefeated, unshaken. KvK 1 conquered. KvK 2 dominated. They walk into the season not as contenders, but as the storm itself.
End of flashback.
They were monsters in KvK 2. I believe it. I even hyped them. I actually even geared them at most at that time. But when the moment came, the crown had already fallen. They were a shadow of their prime, a disappointment to the legend they once carried. An Imperium in name, but not in spirit. Kingsland was ours. The Ziggurat stood under Solaris banners. Our allies cheered. Our enemies faltered. 72, once feared, now forgotten. Their flags burned, their rallies broken, and their spirits shattered. In the end, victory was not just about strength. It was about proving who truly deserved the crown. And 72 did not. KvK 3 may be a farming KvK, but it was a war. It was a revelation. It showed us who we were, who our allies were, and who our enemies pretended to be. 72 was supposed to be our greatest rival, but instead, they became our greatest disappointment. And so, the crown rests with us, Solaris, unbroken, undefeated, unstoppable. Until the next war, when history calls again. Walnut